Bronan, what is best in life?
To wield the power of scent, to command attention, and to know you paid $30 instead of 300.
Bronan? Okay, it's the second time I've done Bronan. I won't do it again for the next month at least. Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. Today we are talking clone fragrances, but more specifically, 10 of the best new ones that have dropped here recently. If you're watching this in the future, these were at one point new, and now you know something else is. It's like the circle of life, except with clone fragrances. It's the circle of clones. I'm also gonna be giving away a couple of clone fragrances that I picked up for you guys, a couple of certified bangers, so stay tuned for that. All of these are gonna be linked in the description below. Let's start right away with Tornado. Yes, Tornado. This one is by Maison Asrar. Has that cool presentation style that looks like a canyon or something. And with the name Tornado, you don't really know what you're in for with the fragrance, and the color scheme there, you know, it's kind of like this purplish hue. Doesn't really give it away either. So this one actually is a clone of Baby Cat by YSL. And now there are a bunch of dupes for that fragrance out there. There are a lot of different Baby Cat alternatives available. So it's not like this is something where, it's the first one or anything like that, but it does have a nice twist to the scent profile. Interestingly enough, it's got some fruits off the top, this fruity type sweetness, which is gonna set it apart from Baby Cat. And that continues on through into the dry down as well. So this one's not gonna be as heavy, not as like smoky, but it still has great performance. So it sticks around, it lasts a long time, it projects really well. Obviously it has a good amount of sweetness in here, just like the original did as well. You get that vanilla that comes out in the dry down, touch of woodiness also. Very good for fall and winter time. Absolutely stunning whether day or night. And this one also very smooth compared to the original Baby Cat. That one, like I said, a little more of that incensey kind of pop, that little bit of smokiness that it has. And this one has that kind of stripped down a bit, which gives it a nice roundness to the scent profile. It doesn't really punch you in the nose, not overly aggressive or anything like that. Just really, really well done. A great twist on that DNA. Which at this point, if you're gonna do a Baby Cat alternative, you pretty much have to have kind of a twist, because if you just try to pop it out there and do the same thing that's been done 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, who's gonna care? Correct, nobody. That was the right answer, yes. The next one is very different. It's called Tropical Vibe by Rayhan. It's got this cool, almost like Miami Dolphins-esque color scheme with the blue down here and this reddish orange up at the top. And one thing I noticed with this, not a big deal at all, but one thing I noticed, Rayhan has moved to magnetic caps. And a few of their fragrances that have come out here recently have had magnetic caps. This one does as well. That's not what I've noticed though. The cap has been improved further. And you know I love a magnetic cap. I'm a sucker for that stuff. So this one is Pacific Aura. Notice, you can just spin the cap freely. Now, it is a magnet, but it doesn't pop up when you spin the cap. This one, oh, now it does. Does that matter? No. But it is a little attention to detail, which is very good to see the brand doing more of that, because when they started off, I was not a Rick fan. No. Also, the atomizer, slick. So this right here is a clone of Summer Hammer, which quite a name. And if you're unaware of that one, it has a bunch of notes in there. It's got pineapple, mango, coconut, a bit of rum, musk, sandalwood, aquatic notes, and it is a big blast of all of that right off the top. So it does have a little bit of a sunscreen-esque vibe to it. Definitely gonna remind you of like a beach holiday or just a vacation in general during the summer. I'd say completely unisex. Women can pull this off just as easily as men. Very good performance as well. My wife is in love with the stuff. Very fresh, sweet, perfect for spring and summer, which we are technically right now in the Northern Hemisphere heading into fall, but yeah, extremely powerful for this type of scent, lasts forever, projects like a monster, great stuff. The next one is really kind of weird, kind of different. You'll notice it's an itty bitty bottle. This is called Omaha Gold, and it's by Zamaya, and this is actually just concentrated perfume oil. Now I gotta admit, for the most part, I stay completely away from these. They're usually really cheap. You can find them on most any discounter. It'll be like 15 mils, 20 mils, something like that. This one in particular is 20. And the reason I stay away from them is because they don't have an atomizer, they're just perfume oil. You unscrew it like this, and then there's a little wand, essentially, the wand of gamelan. That's a real deep cut for some of you out there. But yeah, this right here essentially has the oil on it, and you rub it on your skin, and that's what you do. Don't break this. My expectations for this were not exactly high, but it actually rocks. This stuff lasts forever. It projects pretty well in actuality, and it smells extremely close to a really popular fragrance, Altair. And I know Altair done to death at this point, but this stuff is fantastic by itself, or if you wanted to, with layering. I'm actually wearing it right now. So I put it on earlier on my wrist right here, and I did the unholy, unspeakable act of rubbing together, yes, but it still has worked extremely well, even with me committing that unspeakable atrocity. It's very rich, warm, sweet, just like Altair. You lose a little bit of like the top end with this, but everything else comes through extremely well. Now we got some killers coming up, but before that, the codes, and there are new ones. Be aware those Jumbo Shop codes are a change-in. They change every quarter, so as you see on the screen, this is what they will be, and they only work within the Jumbo Shop app. Be aware of that also. Gift Express codes, the perfume box, we have all of these that you can use anytime you shop at these stores to save yourself a little extra money. The next one is from Lattafa. It's this right here, brand new. I gotta say the presentation to me looks pretty cheap, but to be fair, it is cheap. And it's Sharif. Now this one right here is Parfums de Marly's Greenly. And I did have a little bit of a feeling like, it may not be that great. Because some of the Lattafas I've gotten in here recently have been okay, but not really like show-stopping. They've been that type of fragrance where you're like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like, it's not insanely good, but it's pretty good. But this stuff is actually really, 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 really good. So with this, you get something that is obviously very close to PDM Greenly with a great fizzy, sparkly sweetness. Very fresh when you first spray it on. Yeah, stuff is just like sugary in just the right way. Like it's not overdone to the point that it becomes headache inducing or cloying. It just smells enticing. It smells awesome. Like I said, presentation wise, it looks kind of cheap. It feels kind of cheap in the hand, but what's inside the bottle is awesome. So I'll overlook that completely. I'd rather have something that smells amazing and the presentation is a little bit so-so than the opposite. Have something with an amazing presentation and then the fragrance is not great. Veneno up next, but Veneno Scarlet this time. Veneno Black, the most well-known one. That one is a clone of By Kilian Smokin' Hot. This one, very, very, very different from that. So this one is a clone of Venom Incarnate, hence the color scheme right here, that scarlet red color scheme. As this one dries down, really almost like decadently edible. You have residual fruits that carry over into the dry down, this great caramel, like sugary caramel that has more of a heft to it, and then leather. A good amount of leather that kind of sits over top of all those other notes as it dries down. Now, when you first spray this on, like I said before, a lot of fruits off the top, very sweet, strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, caramel, all of that going on in the opening. You also have some woods in there, a little bit of spice. It's another fragrance that I'd say completely unisex. Women can pull this off as easily as men could. In fact, it could lean just a little bit feminine, but I think again, completely unisex. And it is strong, boys. This stuff packs a punch. It will project, it will last. Probably not gonna have as much of a mass appeal to as many people, I should say, as Veneno Black, because Smokin' Hot is going to appeal to more guys as a fragrance to wear than this will. But this one, really unique, very well done, high quality as you would expect. Then we got one from Gulf Orchid called Yacht Club right here, which is a clone of 40 Knots by Xerjoff. But this is another one that's kind of more of a twist than a one-to-one, because while it does capture a lot of the vibe of 40 Knots, this one approaches it slightly different. But then the scent actually got compared to the smell of Ombre Nuit by Christian Dior, which not an aquatic fragrance. It was more ambery, warm, sweet, stuff like that. So this one takes that 40 Knots idea and kind of runs with it a little bit. So it's got a bunch of similarities, actually maybe slightly sweeter even than 40 Knots is. And then like 40 Knots, great performance. You know, lasts forever, 10 plus hours, projects heavily. It has honey in there, violet, incense, bergamot as well. Also a good dose of leather. So it's not your typical fragrance, again, going back to the original, that you would think of when you hear the name. And like pretty much everything up here at this point is really, really strong. That's kind of par for the course at this point, I think, for cologne fragrances, or fragrances in general, but especially cologne fragrances, where it's like, let's make everything insane.
Crazy.
Okay, sure, bud. Next fragrance is from Zamaya, kind of a hefty bottle, really big and heavy. Zamaya Ciata Regal. And this one is a clone of God of Fire. God of Fire has to be like the most cloned fragrance of the past year, I feel like. I wonder if we could do that, like each year determine what was that year's most cloned fragrance, right? Like at one point it was Angel Share. You know, one year, everything Angel Share. Back in the day, Aventus, everything Aventus. Feels like this year, everything God of Fire. Like every fragrance company has at least one, sometimes multiple. And this is another one of those, casting its hat into the ring. Now we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but if you're gonna be one of the later ones to the party of cloning a fragrance, you better come correct. And thankfully, this one does. It smells great. As soon as you spray it on, you get that mango, very fresh, sweet, uplifting. Also, one thing as an aside, it's a Zamaya, which means it's gonna be cheap, bro. Cheap everywhere. Zamaya is typically one of the cheaper, more affordable clone brands. I mean, maybe there's like an outlier here or there, but for the most part, the stuff they put out is not expensive. You have a great ginger in there off the top as well. It adds to a little bit of that briskness, kind of uplifting that mango even further as it dries down. Additional warmth, sweetness from tonka, some woods in there, a little bit of musk as well. Has like a slight green, like sweet green tinge to it also, kind of possibly, you know, messing with my mind because of the bottle, but I picked that up. Quality-wise, as good as anything else out there. It is as smooth, as well done, and has a good performance to boot. So even though there are a bunch of other alternatives, this one is right up there toward the tippy top of God of Fire alternatives, clones, dupes. I almost said God of War on a little PlayStation kick.
Watch your tone, boy.
Whatever.
Another Zamaya, this one is All Barari Coral. All Barari. Kind of a funny presentation with this one. It's got like a little ring and then like a just little leather thing so you can hold your bottle, I guess. Not exactly sure why. It's kind of, I don't know. And this one's sort of a mix. It is Blue Talisman, mainly Blue Talisman, and then also like a little touch of God of Fire. Yeah. Again, another one.
You're joking. Not another one?
As I said, it leans more toward Blue Talisman, but it's not the exact same because this one has more of an emphasis on fruity sweetness and ginger off the top. Bergamot, orange, ginger, mango, pear, like all of that in the opening here. So it does come across like a hybridization of the two, a little Frankensteinian, a little bit of stitching some monsters together. That's what it's like. Great for spring and summer, a good daytime fragrance, solid performance, but with a caveat. When I first got this in, that was the performance. Not good. Yes, it was one of those ones where you give it a little spray and you go, oh, fantastic, nice. Yes, so be aware of that. I don't know if you'll have the exact same experience, but if you get this in, you give it a little spray and it seems to go with the wind, let it sit. The other Zamaya, I had no such problem. This one, I did. So, Ramad Oriental is the next one. This is from Arabiat Prestige. Now, one thing I'll say about Arabiat, more than anything, they have bangin' atomizers. Yes, everything here, some of them have really good ones, some have very average ones, but none of them are as good as this. This one is smooth. Oh, I can still see it. Oh my God. It's like The Mist. You ever seen that horror movie? That's what it looked like. This one is a clone of polishing the knob there. Just had a little stuff on it. This one is a clone of Outlands by Amouage, and it's another one of those ones that smells just like quality here, price down here. It's an interesting combo if you've never smelled Outlands. It has a lot going on. So it's a little bit syrupy sweet, it's green, it's resinous, it's both fresh and also deep and warm. It is the type of fragrance that's more for people who are like into fragrances. It's not as much just like a grab spray and go anytime type of scent. But this stuff is amazing for the price point, extremely well done. These houses, these clone houses keep getting just like better and better and better to the point that it's kind of like, how are you even doing this at this point? Final fragrance before the giveaway, Ciata Nova by Zamaya, because of course, you can't just get one. If you see them both, you gotta get them both. At least that's the excuse that I use. Don't do that. That's actually really bad advice. Go to a car dealership and you're like, well, they got that car and they got that one. I gotta take them both, I guess. Just add that to the debt. Yeah, this one's very similar to Saffron Secret by Maison Crivelli, so quite different from pretty much everything else up here. So of course there is saffron in here. There's also tonka. There's woody notes, patchouli, spices, amber, and oak moss as well. This is gonna be more fall, winter time. No spring, no summer. It's rich, spicy, woodsy with just the right amount of sweetness in there. Just a little bit, nowhere near as much as some of these guys that I've talked about already. And it's gonna be more classy, more of an evening type of scent, more of a special occasion kind of scent as well. And this one, just like this one here, good right away. As soon as I spray this stuff on, fantastic. Giveaway time. There they are. So I got two from Gulf Orchid here, Exotic Oud and Sweet Heaven. So Sweet Heaven, if you're unaware of this one, essentially, you know, your Angel Share Camera style of scent, that's what this is. And this one, similar to a Maison Crivelli, but not the one that we just talked about. This one is similar to Oud Maracuja. So realistically, both of these should be great for the coming months, fall and winter time. You should be good to go. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, usual stuff, like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which clone fragrance, like newer one, has really just blown you away, whether because it smelled amazing or the quality or the price, whatever. And if you haven't been, you can say that as well. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel following month. If you're the winner, hit me up, I'll ship those out to you. Good luck. All right, guys, that will do it. Thank you for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.